about 65 degrees today. Looks like the bees are working. Coming in and out. Some of the bees, you'll notice, some of the bees actually end up greeting each other as they come in. It's their way of making sure that only the right bees come to the right hive. So they're out gathering nectar today. Things are kind of in bloom. And I will move over and we will open up the top and look in and see what they look like. Okay, if you look in here, you can see a full hive. Okay, these bees are actually really healthy. And there may be so many in there, I may need to go ahead and split them. We're going to look at that here in a few minutes. In the winter time, our winters are pretty mild. So usually what I do is I leave the top on. I'll leave a super on, like this, with no frames in it. And if I need to feed them, then you can see where I fed them a little bit in the spring to get them going. And that is bee candy, which is a mixture of it's like soybean meal and sugar or old honey. And then we cook that up on the stove and then freeze it, and then it provides them protein when they need it. In the early spring, it's sometimes a good idea if you have a young hive. This one was the swarm from last year, and so just wanted to make sure that I got them off to a good start and they were nice and healthy going into summer. But it looks like this is a nice, healthy hive. The only thing that I don't know about this hive yet is they're full enough that I'm concerned that maybe they may be getting too full and we could be in danger of a swarm. So I need to find out. I'll show you in this next video, this next little clip here, what that looks like. We're going to look and see if there's a one. We know the queen's probably laying just because of the size of the colony. Need to make sure she's laying well. And the other thing we need to do is we need to see if they're getting ready to swarm, if they have some swarm cells. We'll look for those here in a moment. And then the other thing that we're going to look for is any emergency cells. We're going to look for any mites on any of the bees. And so make sure that they're not diseased. We don't see any signs that any of the bees are sick, because usually they'll be like spots all around, which is basically bee diarrhea. But we don't see any of that. They're all actually, if you look in here, you can see that they're all very, very good. They're very healthy, very clean. So I'll see if I can zoom in and get close. I don't know if my camera's going to do it very well, but if you look on the backs of the bees, sometimes that's where the mites will be. Right now, I don't see any mites. The bees aren't real aggressive right now, which is kind of nice. But there are no mites anywhere to be seen, and I'm looking. So anyway, just kind of a hive inspection. We don't really test these guys a whole lot in terms of opening up the hives or routinely or anything else. We let them do their thing unless we get concerned. But every couple weeks we'll check on them, but not a lot. Most of the inspections I do are external to the hive, or I'll pop the top open. But in the spring I'll do a really good inspection, and that's what we're going to check on right now. And in the spring it's a pretty invasive inspection where I'll actually inspect both brood chambers to make sure that that the bees are doing what they need to be doing. Okay, so just stay tuned. We'll get some more going here in just a minute.